relationship.
you mentioned chronic fatigue, Lyme, and fibromyalgia. So are those specific illnesses, are those able to be transmuted through saliva? Or do you have, they are, okay.
Yeah, and so what's important, you were talking about infections. And so, infections are one of these particular causes. So when I'm looking at the causes of fatigue, which are also the causes of autoimmunity and the causes of fibromyalgia, there's 33 potential causes. Okay, and infections are one category of those. Okay, and so heavy metals, chemicals, molds, most likely not going to be transmitted unless you like move into somebody's house and they've got a bunch of mold, right?
Right.
Um, so heavy metals, chemicals, molds. We talked about infections, and then allergies, negative emotional patterns, electromagnetic frequencies. All of those are most likely not going to be from kissing somebody, but the infections are. And so that's kind of when we're looking at fatigue and we're looking at autoimmunity, we're looking at fibromyalgia, the mechanism is that the infection gets in the body and it starts causing stress, and it starts damaging the mitochondria. So when it starts causing stress in the body, increases inflammation, and depending on where the infection is, that's where the inflammation will be. So if it's in the joints, you get joint pain. And if the immune system is then reacting to this bug and reacting to the joints, you get like rheumatoid arthritis. You can get these autoimmune conditions. If the infection's in the thyroid, you can get autoimmune thyroiditis or Hashimoto's. If the infection is in the skin, you can get lupus, right? So that's kind of what ends up happening. There's also some molecular mimicry and some other things that are happening, but that's kind of the general idea. And so that's kind of where the infections come into play. And so they're causing stress on the body that ends up causing deficiencies in the hormones, especially the adrenals, which are responsible for stress. They damage the mitochondria, which produces about 80 to 90% of all of our energy. And then they're working together with some of these other toxins, the heavy metals, the chemicals, the molds, and other infections that end up causing this whole picture that ends up leading to all of those different issues. But infections are always a big cause or a big contributor to autoimmunity, chronic fatigue, and fibromyalgia.